What is up, you guys, and welcome back to Arca Scans on this happy Friday, where we go over the week's potential movers directly from my scanner. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called Arca Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so we're looking at ticker symbol ASH right here for Ashland Inc., and there could be an opportunity presented here, right? So, I mean, first of all, we do have a larger time frame reaccumulation event happening here. So, and I am starting to see a potential opportunity. And what I mean by that is there's actually a huge channel happening here on the larger time frame, right? So you're looking at this in the 12-hour chart, right? So what I mean by that is that there could be some type of thing happening just like this here to where we can be getting ready for a potential breakout finally from this formation itself. Now, if we're looking at this from this perspective as well, then that can only mean that the shorter time frames also have something similar, right? So let's go back down to the 4-hour time frame any day that this decides to load and check out what we have there, right? So, oh my goodness gracious, do we have some slower internet or what? Okay, so yeah, so now that we can see this on the 12-hour, I'm sorry, in the 4-hour chart, then we can actually take a look at this now, okay? So it looks like we do have a pretty nice formation happening right in here, right? So actually we can imply that our supports would be something like this, okay? And why like this is because I can see that the bottom touch actually starts from this candle here, and then we have all the resistance touches up there, right? So this is kind of what I'm looking at here, and there could be that rejection here from the bottom. So very likely there could be a floor found here at 83.81 before continuing to the upside. Also, if you look at the 12-hour time frame, or I think it may have been on the daily, right? So, yeah, actually 12-hour. Very nice hammer candle printing on the 12-hour. Let's see, the daily should have it too, right? Yeah, it's whatever. But the 12-hour candle is something that we can look at. It is a higher term time frame candle, right? And suggesting a potential upside continuation from this, right? So this is standing at a pretty bullish position. So also the fact that this 12-hour candle got a massive amount of volume considering all the rest of whatever happened back there. So this is 500,000 shares traded within this candle itself. And then the one prior to that was about 400, and the one actually right before that was 100. So yeah, things are looking not bad. All right, so let's go ahead and revert back to the 4-hour time frame and take a look at our opportunities, because you guys know that I first take a look at my 4-hour volatility versus momentum, and take a look here. We definitely have an upside pivot from both the EMA 3 and the SMA 14, and we have increasing volatility, so that's a good sign. Especially that it's increasing volatility coming down from critical expansion. Okay, so that's a very good sign. All right, so this is in fact what I usually look for. Okay, so now as we go into the 6-hour time frame, please notice that we also have an upside pivot on the 6-hour EMA 3 and SMA 14, increasing volatility with a moving average pitch to the upside as well. It's looking very good. Now, in the 6-hour time frame, we're also starting to get some type of reversal signals here from the DMI. Okay, so now that we're getting an upside pivot on the green being the DMI plus, or bulls, aka bulls, this could indicate that we are in the process of taking over the bear's position on top, right? And the ADX is increasing. It's at about 22%. So as soon as this reaches 25% and the bulls are continuing to the upside, that would indicate a strong trending market. Another thing to take a look at is actually the stochastic momentum versus money flow index. And you can see in the histogram, which represents the money flow itself, or the disbursement of returns, you can actually see that the disbursement of returns inbound are actually happening, right? So that means incoming flow of cash, and that usually means that it's long bias. Okay, so that's looking very good for the asset as well. Let's move on to the 8-hour chart and view what we have here. Okay, so yeah, perfect. So the 4 and 6 hour are in the process already of an upside. They're in the process of actually bleeding into the 8-hour time frame to see if we can actually get that correction, right? And you can actually see that pivot already happening here on the 8-hour time frame. Okay, so this marks a very short-term upside that we can look at before facing some type of resistance, right? So, and it's only normal for us to face that resistance. So in fact, you're looking at, I'm sorry, I actually didn't correct this right over here to touch this, right? So you're looking at test number 1 of the resistance, test number 2 of the resistance, and test number 3. Usually after test number 3, you get the biggest capitulation, just like you see here, and then the reaccumulation to actually break out on test number 4 being a true breakout test. Also, you should know that test number 4 is the more likely test to break out in, but it's also possible to break out on test number 5. On a descending channel, looking at test number 6 and 7, those get a little bit weirder. We have to take a look at the current conditions in the market to see if there is a suggestion to break out in the first place. But test number 4 and 5 are definitely good ones to take a look at. Another thing to remember is that the 4-hour time frame is considered to be an immediate short-term time frame. So this is actually, lower time frames cause lesser strike rate, right? So let's just we have to play this carefully is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so from the current position, which is at about 86.39 to the top side of the resistance, you're looking at about let's see, about a 2.28% move to the upside. If this does break out, then there is a resistance to look at possibly about 3%, okay? So this is immediate short-term time frame stuff, okay, you guys? So this can happen during the span of about a day, okay? So about 2.8% to the upside. There could be a resistance here to test the newly converted resistance of the channel into support before continuing on to the upside. The way to identify the objective price from this channel is actually taking a trend line from the top side of the channel to the bottom side of the channel, and you apply it to that area of breakout, and then you can see that the target that you're being suggested is near the resistance of the beginning of the channel, so 93.24. Okay, so this is the resistance of the channel here, but now notice that this candle right over here has a massive what could be considered by the inner circle traders imbalance. There could be a huge zone over here to actually look at for the price action to slide up, and that imbalance is created by the wick low of this candle and the wick high of this candle here. Okay, creating this, which would in Bitcoin it would be considered a vector candle, I believe, right? So yeah, it creates a zone for the price action to essentially have a pretty easy way up. We do have some previous resistances to kind of look into, of course, and also they would be highly likely that we can see some geometrics land in there as well. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and now take a look at a fib and see if we can get this overall range high fib to the low fib and see what kind of geometrics we have in line. Okay, so first of all, yes, right near our resistance here, we actually have the 1.618 located at 93.55. So indicating that the take profit located right here at about 93.18 could be a pretty good zone to essentially look at, right? So reaccumulation zones here could actually happen between, if we get a little bit lower of a valuation, it could be actually to the lower end of this candle right over here. And if we add some moving averages, let's see if we can actually add our SMA 10 in there and see what else we have, right? So, those are upper term targets. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of our moving averages and take a look at some other tools too. Okay, so let's see what we have as far as the reversion variant. Okay, so yeah, if we do, since we are breaking inside, we're reclaiming the inside of this Bollinger Band cloud, then there is usually a type of retracement back here, and then that's honestly the same target that I was looking at per these candles right over here, or this one right over here, right? So I'm thinking that there could be the space for accumulation between the zone of the not 236, just under it, at about 85.10. To the support level of about 85.65 for a potential loading zone, right? And then this would essentially continue to the upside, face a little bit of resistance from that 87.57, retrace back to 86.38 for validation of support, and a continuation to the upside. It's going to be a choppy zigzag here, but essentially there could be a very unique opportunity here because it is breaking out. This would essentially be a breakout play. Right. So the top side measurement that we're looking at from a potential entry, let's just say that it was for our paper trading, right? So as we always have this panel, we want to make sure that we have our beginner trader safe, right? So for paper trading, right, we're looking at a potential 8.79% to the upside to around a 12.23% to the upside on a pretty much an $84 valuation asset, right? So $86. So not bad whatsoever. Oftentimes these types of plays do very good when you're looking at some options, right? So as long as you do have a high delta, make sure that it's not in the lower areas of about 50 cents, right? And if you do have a pretty good Vega as well, which by the way could be the addition of, let's just say your Vega is set to 30 cents. That means that it's 30 cents times 100 shares within the options contract. That implied volatility, for every point that implied volatility goes up in percentages, that Vega gets applied to your delta. Okay, so if your delta is sitting at 70 and you're getting a boost of 30 cents for every point of implied volatility that you go up in Vega, that adds to your options contract premium, right? So that's great, right? So now, just make sure to practice very carefully your Greeks in options if you are playing these, right? Because these types of valuated stocks are very popular very popular to play options contracts in, right? So I must warn you to know your Greeks before you play the options, okay? Because options, if you don't have your risk management together, that is very likely gonna put some people out, right? So just know that, okay, you guys. It's very it is very dangerous. Also, 4-hour time frame, hidden bullish divergence actually happening right down here, right? So go ahead and notice that price action is making a lower low while the momentum oscillator is actually making a higher high. A higher low, right? So that is indicative of hidden bullish divergence, and it is verified or validated and suggesting a continuation to that upside. Okay, you guys, please remember first and foremost that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, you guys, I wish you well, a very, very good weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios.